Okay, I've never played 80 Days before. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it supports a controller. I have one just in case. I assume it's a reference to Around the World in 80 Days, which I've actually read. It's a pretty good book. Let's check it out. For something completely different. I also don't know if this game is going to be super loud or super quiet, so I will turn it down, err on the side of caution, but if it's too quiet, let me know and I can turn it up. It would seem... I think it's... mouse and keyboard, okay. He is a gambling man. You know the structure of Around the World in 80 Days? Well, I was going to say, JoJo Season 3, Stardust Crusaders, feels like it, but it's the other way around. Right. Around the World in 80 Days definitely came first. I don't know if that was a deliberate inspiration of Iraqis. Oh, these are the folks that did Heaven's Vault. Okay, that's exciting. I really like Heaven's Vault a lot. Settings, full screen. Okay, that all looks fine to me. London. Begin. Phileas Fogg. It's just very exciting to like constantly have to change vehicles and... We're going around the world. Very good. I murmured dutifully, not believing a word of it. Circumnavigate the globe within 80 days. But of course, still extremely suspicious. Pack an altimeter in my evening jacket. There's not a moment to waste. Your character is now dependable. Audio balance looks okay in the equalizer. Let me know if it's too quiet. Collect our things and we will be off. Pack. Fogg's apartment. Altimeter. Air sickness is psychological. Evening jackets. Shipping timetable. Ah, so I'm limited in what I can bring. That's kind of fun. Describe the marks describing a recording of a symphony. Alright, let's see how this goes. Don't know yet, we'll find out. It's a lot of routes. Depart. One suitcase. This looks like a bearable option. Oh, it's a really slow dot. Horses race past Piccadilly Circus and Pall Mall faster than a team of thoroughbreds. Oh, is this like an alternate, like, steampunk universe? Interesting. Must not miss this train. Dash to the ticket booth. Elbowing aside a few, ladies and gentlemen. 2 singles to Paris, I demanded breathlessly. The guard raised his pen with agonizing slowness. Leaving tomorrow? Leaving immediately? Leapt wildly for the guardrail. I confess, I had been an acrobat in my youth before becoming a valet. Apparently the two professions were not so different as they seemed. This is cute. This game is very cute. Told the ticket inspector that you would be appearing presently. Your funds have gone down a little. Ah, so I could have gotten on without tickets. Maybe would have gotten in trouble for it. Must make haste. Money. We earn a little from buying and selling our possessions as we travel. Ah, so maybe I should have brought business jacket. Fog read his paper while I recovered my breath. Guard rapped on our door. We're about to submerge. Takes some people a bit funny. What do you mean submerge? The submersible train. Fun. This is very much in like the spirit of Jules Verne too. This is the Mer train. Bloody journalists and their silly names. It's been stamped with the artificer's seal. Ooh. That's cool. Your relationship with Fog is strengthened slightly. Nice. Love that this game is like basically Jules Verne fanfiction, but it's really, really well done. Do you have a route in mind? The new canal has sped up the shipping route from Suez to Bombay. You can take the Trans-Siberian Railway across Russia. Surely not Siberia. It is so cold and grim, and I have a particular fear of bears. We may travel overland and across the Black and Caspian seas. But which is safest? There is no place in the world which is not safe for an Englishman, he said coolly, and with great finality. I love that in order to do something like this, you kind of have to have a sense of making fun of yourself about it, right? Oh, little robots are lifting our luggage. It's fun. I'm glad I didn't know anything about this game because the steampunk aspect was a complete surprise. Watch out for the Ever Given if we take the Suez Canal. Spend time doing things. Pocket altimeter should be quite valuable here. Sell. Yeah, sure. Buy an extra suitcase for sure. Traveling cloak. This is fun because it's like, what are you possibly going to need? I bet stuff like the playing cards are going to be more important than you might imagine. Now, I think I'm limited in the number of suitcases I'm allowed to bring. Shaving kit. Wine. And can't go to the bank now. Okay, Explorer. Yeah. It's like roguelike Oregon Trail, sort of. City still wore the scars of last year's siege. Ventured inside. An artificer was replacing an arc light. What is that device? She grumbled in a thick Yorkshire accent that it's a bleeding nuisance. Gram machines? The steam engine. Doesn't make any steam. I hate explaining this stuff to laymen. I retreated hastily, not at all in terror of her irate tone. You block off candles? All streets be lit with electricity soon? London will be last. Queen is against you? She's cautious is all. Knows real power when she sees it, that's what I'd say. I can take her pocket watch. I bowed in return. Given this for my work in Istanbul, I made a very special automaton. It works as a driver now. On the route up from Izmir. An automaton who could drive? Oh man. Alright, we gotta go to Istanbul, not Constantinople. Officers Guild, Avenue of Nations, Airship Hangar. Let's stick to the theme. Steam-powered automaton orchestra playing gleaming brass instruments. Hey, you gotta, if you find yourself near Madison, Wisconsin for some reason, you have to go to the House on the Rock. It's so strange. Like, this, like, millionaire built this insane mansion with these huge underground tunnels full of rooms with, like, automaton musicians and, like, a giant whale. Or, like, maybe you just, like, look up a video tour of it or something. I couldn't believe it was real. So weird. Explaining the guild's credo to a group of sticky-fingered children. Had his hands deep inside a human-sized automaton. Dashed thing. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Trying to build an automaton that can cook, but it's not going well. This one can't even fry a chip. How long have you been trying? Tender stomachs of Britain's youth will be much safer in mechanical hands. Do you cook yourself? Not a jot. Do you suppose that's a fly in the ointment? Good thought. I'll go and find myself a cook to model my automaton on. Yeah. House on the Rock. Right, Madison, Wisconsin, let me make sure. Didn't it feature in a Neil Gaiman book? Probably find a video tour of it. I've talked about it on stream a couple times before. Wished him well in his culinary endeavors. It's an American Gods. Okay. I can see why you'd want to write a book about it. It's completely nuts. Let's check out the airship hangar. A husband and wife pair selling panoramic hot air balloon rides to eager tourists. I like this like alternate history steampunk world. It's kind of cool. What's your hourly rate? £80 for a half-hour flight. That is robbery. Going around the world. Oh, did it get canceled? Bummer. African-made rigid metal balloon, the gilded Egyptian Ifrit-class airship. Metal-clad four propellers, Savicar Atmotic. This is great. I'm a big fan of this. Stylized poppies and feathers. Resembled nothing more than a vast flying sarcophagus. People really fly in such things? Hundreds do, and every day. Oh, that's unfortunate. More Storm's growing late. Plain boiled beef. Careful, Fog. You're going to become a bilious lord. Did you enjoy the exposition? As though I had been out visiting an aged great aunts. And I nodded. Yeah. I feel like the team that wrote this had a ton of fun with this. I think we'll encounter artificers. Time for us to use the most efficient transport available. Cool. Totally gotta go to Istanbul. Visited 1 out of 169 cities. Oh, that's cool. Stay at the hotel or we can plan. I want to go towards Istanbul. I gotta go all the way down here, right? Just need to actually find a way to get closer to there, right? Departs in 3 days, departs in 2 days. Ah, I see. Negotiate. Fire a further 140. Now I need to find a way to get money to afford that, basically. I don't know if there's going to be a connection point from there, Leon. I'm not sure how that works. Where possible. We cannot travel where it's not possible, certainly. Yeah, it seems like a stretch. Don't drop those cases. Mid of the day. Spent a few hours walking around. I lost 15 pounds, son of a bitch. There's space in the guard's van. It's ample, okay. So I could have done better in terms of suitcases, I guess. Train was extremely fast. Verse. You tell me of Munich. No, you want to go to Venice. Journey is a tiring one. You know about Venice to Athens, right? Can I review my... I don't know that I can from here. Travel by fisherman's boat from Vladivostok to Pyongyang, but the journey is a tiring one. This is kind of cool. Playing cards. This is a way to get more information out of him, basically. I doubt it. Have you been to Bordeaux? No. I wanted to ask if it was a nice spot to honeymoon. Pick up Egyptian carved scarabs in Alexandria that will sell for a fortune in Dubai. Ah. Yeah, I could see this game being very interesting on like a second playthrough. Trouble between the Arabs and Yamwezi at Ujiji. That is a hell of a route all the way over there. Left him and went to explore the train. Watch the scenery flash past. A portly gentleman with a quivering, luxuriant mustache struggled by carrying several trunks. I offered him my aid. Foreign correspondent of the Times. Wish you luck. Sounds most ominous. It's my duty to make omens as a journalist. Followed him to the dining car. Sat with a young composer. Spoke of little but melody, harmony, and the progression of chords. I had an interest in music, but not an understanding. Don't play an instrument myself while in the city walls. It is forbidden. But why? What did you learn? Told him of the observation car. Your character is now sharp. Okay. Cool. Munich opens on Monday. Traveling cloak should be valuable here. For Venice tomorrow. Just before 4 p.m. So I can't see where it tracks. This is my heart value over here. Okay, I see. It's the night. Thus, I flaunted my French accent. Did not care for politics. What was the enmity of nations to me? In order to avoid any untowardness, I spoke as little as possible. Fun. Okay, I've got 4 hours to explore, right? See, I'm not clear if I'm allowed to explore every single time. Open luggage. I guess I have to dump a suitcase then. This looks like a bothersome option. It's gonna drain some health. Guzzling Bozek car. Appeared to be reinforced with metal strips and brackets. Yeah, I'm not sure, though, if I could have departed at any time during the day, and if I had spent the 4 hours, I still could have left, or if I would have missed the car, basically. Conversation degenerated into a guessing game. Was he married? His wife was called Hilda. Did he drive often? Been a soldier? Because I'm losing less time by just departing as early as possible. But the exchange is that I don't get items and routes that I can use elsewhere. Freedom was almost steam-free. Relish the fresh air. This was the life. In short, the car did not explode, and we were rowed across the Gulf to the city of canals. Relations with fog have strengthened slightly. I know I have an existing route that'll get me to Istanbul, so I can't risk anything else. Markets. Alright, so if he doesn't pop up and tell me something's gonna sell for a lot, I don't think that I can know that it will. Worth 2,300 pounds in Berlin. Oh, part of the Gentleman Traveler's set. Valuable in Izmir, Warsaw, and Budapest. Oh, if we have the shipping timetable, we can see ship routes. Okay. I don't have a ton of money, right? £4,000. Greece and Turkey. Part of the Gentleman Traveler set. Part of the Valet set. Part of the Railwayman set. Okay. Long route to Athens. Starts in 3 days at 11 a.m. 22 health. Can only take 2 suitcases, which is a problem. I'll try to figure it out. Maybe I can sell some junk. Thoroughly ungentlemanly behavior. So we could leave sooner. I see. It's a pretty big cost. Okay. Pass the night. Fabulous array of masks. I bowed in greeting. Someone tripped, turned, and tumbled into the canal. I dove to the rescue. She's a daughter of the canal. You should have left her in it. It's the only time she bathes. I averted my eyes tactfully. Who are you? A clown, one said. An agent of the Pope. I introduced myself with a bow, the effect only a little ruined by the dripping. What manner of creature are you? I'm a valet. A policeman? No wonder you throw yourself into canals after innocent citizens. Fun. So I guess I can explore while we wait. I probably need to go back to the market to sell some of this shit. Sell for 5. I don't remember what I paid for the bottle. Can I move this here? Okay, yeah. Cool, I had an extra space. My intent was to try to clear out some space there. New routes discovered. Recognize that voice. The very woman I had pulled from the canal. I wonder how many of these there are. You deserve no customers. Those creatures of yours are not gondoliers. They know nothing of the soul of Venice. There's a really good Radiolab article about the first woman gondolier. I think it was Radiolab. I like this kind of like alternate steampunk history. Oarsmen at the stern were machines of fearsome inhumanity, of extraordinary beauty. Their bodies made of inlaid copper and azure Venetian glass. Faces covered by fine feathered carnival masks. It's interesting. I wonder if it gets described differently if you said that they're fearsome inhumanity. We're people to machines. She gave him a perfectly executed mocking curtsy as we pulled away. No mean feat, while also holding an oar and balancing on the prow of the low craft. Italian unification. Now he's a bootlicker. Why do you hate automata? Fear them, they're soulless. The Pope has declared them abominations. Do continue. Better the artificers than the Pope. I first saw this word, I always wanted to say artificer, but I think after it became a pretty common, like, class in Dungeons & Dragons, I've always heard people say it as artificer. Or artificer, maybe. Makes sense if it's the word artifice. One who artifices. Foundations are being fitted with water pumps. Push the water downwards and thereby lift the city up. They're going to make Venice into a ship to sail it around the world to make war. What? That's cool. Your character is now dab-handed. Okay. Right on. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Okay. Guess I am regenerating health whenever we sleep. Tended to fog, and my relationship has strengthened slightly. It's always slightly, it is. Bark. Sweltering heat and mild seas. This looks like a wearisome route, but the gentleman traveler set should be of some assistance. That's cool. Okay. So it's not just a trading game where things are worth money. What is your wish? How are you feeling? I am in roaring health, but we must make haste. The ruins must be preserved. Izmir. Very good. Oh, some kind of event. No room to walk around. But there are plenty of characters. Fell into a broad conversation with a man named Unsure Mikos. Elder Scrolls conversations. Somebody died. Very good. Love knows no borders. Money does, so I will not be married for some time. What is your work? I work the ships. Ferries from Athens to Izmir. They're cheap, frequent, and fast. Greetings, Mikos. Told the ferries to Izmir are cheap, frequent, and fast. You can Get to Dubai from Bandar Abbas aboard the Persian Gulf Ferry. I'm very much, like, invested on going to Istanbul. We can travel from Delhi to Agra, but the journey is a tiring one. Grand Bazaar is not to be missed. Andrea is working on a project that's codenamed Elbrus. So if it's yellow, I think I already know a little bit about it. Pick up ancient artifacts in Baghdad that will sell for a fortune in Dubai. Buyers will pay well for woolen cloaks from Baghdad. Spend my time aboard playing canasta with a charming Slavic gentleman. I broke even. Great discoveries were being made at the Artificers University in Alexandria. Top hat could earn us well here. Tomorrow seems fine. Super cheap. Let's recover from the ferry journey. Sudden interest was not limited to the city. Do you speak Greek? I spent a glorious summer with a Greek contortionist. Very yes. Not really, I hedged. There's a very specialized vocabulary, despite my master's grasp of ancient Greek. The variant more commonly spoken in the streets eluded him. That's funny. I appreciate that the player character's paramour, that the gender of your paramour was not specified there. We asked for directions or a combination of mime, apposite quotations from Homer, and half-remembered flattery. Up to the Acropolis. Gaze at the Parthenon. It is exquisite. I breathed, interrupting Fogg's silent reverie without meaning to. Caught his arm in case he should fall. Too occupied by the sight? It is most impressive. Dimitri Sophos. I am the owner of a modest shipping freight company based here. I love the premise of this game. Like, it's so... If you've read this book, it's very fitting of, like, what that book is all about and what's exciting about it. I know I compare it, like... It's very likely that Araki was inspired by it, too. That, like, they keep going to all these places and their travel keeps breaking down and they keep having to, like, arrange for new routes by meeting and talking to people and finding out something very serendipitous about them. That, oh, I happen to be going that direction, right? Like, it's fun to have read that book and decided, hey, you can make a video game out of this, you know? Be interested in trade. Dear me, no. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated. Bummer. Your character is now superior. Quite the flamboyant type, I see. Stop at the market. I think they said the top hat's going to sell for a lot here. But then I guess I lose the set bonus. Yeah, that does get Bust of Apollo. 7,000 pounds in high heel. Lubricant. Russian gentleman's wardrobe set. Unstealable wallet. Part of the Urban Traveler set. Was the Uncle Buck hat. People hate this hat. It angers them. Traveling cloak will help. Sit on the deck, enjoying the sunshine. Oh, we got some free healing from that. That's nice. So we're still going to ultimately take damage from the trip. Money. We are quite comfortable. The air of a market cafe. Sunshine is good for the soul. Hey, it's Mikos. I wave back. Oh no! Shouted for help. This is the playthrough where lots of people fall in the water. It was my fault. Were you trying to kill me? Apologize profusely. Your character is now courageous. Can I see like a summary of those? I'm curious if those actually do anything. It would be funny if they didn't. Hey, my good friend. I've already asked him about this quite a bit. Journey is a tiring one. Royal capital, the Kingdom of Burma. Manila. Thank you, I've enjoyed our chat. I'm over this. Fog. A close shave. Superb. Fog was unsurprisingly somewhat agitated. Relations with Fog have deteriorated slightly. Boo. Geometry equipment should be valuable here. Let's go to Istanbul, though. Thoroughly ungentlemanly behavior. Tomorrow. Check out the markets. It's a gateway to Ottoman trade with Europe. That meant most of the boats are going the wrong way. Struck up a conversation with a Greek textile merchant. What's your trade? Are you a tourist? Guilty as charged. I don't understand tourists. Why go somewhere unless you have a purpose? We're going around the world. She rolled her eyes so thoroughly I feared she would do herself an injury. Fastest would be the Kamer-Taj from Istanbul to Tehran and beyond. Okay. That's actually quite helpful. Yeah, okay. Wait for the market to open up here. I'll depart. Yeah, I love the whole, like, trading items you got in earlier areas. That's very, very cool. Those were 240. It's not so bad. Desert Traveler set. Heavy Storm set. Indigo Cotton. Jungle Traveler. I think it's selling for a little bit more than I paid for it. Get rid of that now. Alright, neat. Good to see we're well armed with that machete. Traveling cloak should make my master more comfortable. Man, really getting lucky there on some of that equipment. Driver was a young boy, wore thick darkened goggles and a headscarf. He looked really hot. Are you not uncomfortable? Fun. A shaped mustache. Excellent. Okay, so that generally just heals him, I think. Look to each corner with easy familiarity. Freaking travelers, we're going around the world! When I grow up, I will be an adventurer. You have the spirit for it. I really like games like this where, like, regardless of the implementation, which in this game's case still manages to be quite good, just the concept is fun. That someone thought, like, hey, this would make a great setting for a video game, and I have ideas for mechanics for it, right? I always enjoy that conversion of flavor into game mechanics. Istanbul to Tehran. Mother had a wonderful time aboard the freight train. About Tehran to Kabul. Calcutta can be reached from Bombay. Kabul to Delhi. You mentioned carriages, and keeps not talking to me about the thing I just mentioned. Rio de Janeiro is paradise, plain and simple. How do you drive? Or do you drive? Not as well as me, I'm sure. You can buy high-grade iron ore in Santiago that you can sell for a profit in Khartoum. Santiago. Goodbye. Yeah, so I guess I don't know, as long as you're traveling generally east, there's a particular rule to if it counts, right? Like, can I just visit a bunch of places in Asia and then just go back to London and say that I went around the world? Carriage unfolded to form a tent. That's cool. Discovered a certain detail, which I will share here. Came across our driver. Sans headscarf and goggles. Without the disguise, it was quite obvious. He was not even human. That's fun. Been told about this driver at the World's Fair. I met the artificer who made you. Why do you hide yourself? I could see a flush rise between the goggles and scarf. One should not hide, but one is. Easy enough for you to say. No one will try to dismantle you if they saw you truly. No departures today. We should explore a little. Okay, I'll do that shortly. Driving goggles. Dusty road set. The shaving kit has been nice. Air sickness pills, railway man sets, Southern Hemisphere. I know that that's actually going to matter later. I feel like you could try to focus on travel that supports a ton of suitcases. You're wearing that cloth head thing. You are most mistaken. Or did I already miss my opportunity to... I think I did. Departure Tehran tomorrow at 4 p.m. 2 suitcases supported. I woke in the morning in the silks of an Ottoman harem girl. Worse yet, I was in the forbidden women's apartments. I had no memory of the previous night. I quickly ascertained the peril of my position. It was not just my master's wager at stake. Men were forbidden here. Just the veil over my face, put a sway into my hips and brazen it out. The morning light was less forgiving to my disguise. I took a brief but refreshing swim in the Bosphorus. I found Monsieur Fogg reading a newspaper back at our lodgings. He looked up and blushed a most violent shade of red as he took in my attire. And yet somehow the matter quietly dropped. Sometimes, I confess, I do admire the English. Wonderful. Okay. Harem silk should fetch a good price in high yield. Should we decide to sell them? Interesting. Let's go. Oh, right, because now I have... Yeah, let's check at the market real quick. I'm gonna have to have the extra space for the harem silks anyway. New routes discovered. Oh, this is just overhearing people talking. Okay, that's kind of cool. My brain doesn't want to interpret the color choices they've used for water and land the way they intend them. I keep having to, like, manually invert it. Depart. Embark. Hire more luggage. That was cheap. Promises to be a bothersome experience. Oh, I love the look of that. Gigantic iron horse reared from the prow of the Istanbul-Tehran Express. Wasteful in the extreme. 75 miles per hour. Truly, we live in an age of wonder. Your character is now zestful, and I wish I could review all of those. Can I see that in the overview, maybe? I think it's just general. Ajad Ghul. Tell me about Tehran. I have a terrible headache. Tehran to Kabul. Irkutsk to Beijing. I know the name Irkutsk because of Risk. Tell me more about Beijing. There are no airships allowed in Beijing. Beijing to Canton. Yeah, this is fun. A long day of foggish calm beckoning. Fell into conversation with unveiled red-haired woman. Her name is Ksenia Petrovna Volkova. I asked her how she knew so much about locomotives. A scholar of many things. Do you believe the Persians have a revolutionary new engine? Surely they would not lie. There are many reasons to lie when one is playing the game of Empire. Curious. Your attentions are most beneficial. I should probably read the newspaper at some point. I haven't been doing that. I wonder if having the shaving kit was giving me a bonus to the health recovery on fog. Interesting. Why was she not there for the inspections? My curiosity overrode my politeness. Suspicions confirmed. I went searching. Just then I saw a flash of red outside. She was hanging from the side of the train, looked up at me through wind goggles and lifted her arm to wave. Gestured at her to grab her back on before she fell. I was confounded but impressed. You look flushed. Oh, you flatter me. She had disappeared. Well, maybe we'll run into her later. Relations with Fogg deteriorated again. I guess because I'm not spending the entire time attending to him, right? I like that element, too. Like, if you're gonna make a Sherlock Holmes game, you better damn well play as Watson, right? The traveling cloak has done us really well so far. Astrolabe. Evening jacket. No, we already got 2 out of 3 on this. Engineer set. Diagnosing problems with steam systems. $6,200 pounds in Benares. Probably all fine. Can negotiate. Oh, for upper class journeys. Interesting plan. Alright, I'll carry on to Kabul. 2 days. No charge. Hey. Thank you, Englishman's Wardrobe. That's kind of cool. Let's confirm here. Tomorrow at 8 a.m., so I have time to explore. Capital of the Persian Empire. To say it is modern would be to deny the unparalleled glory of its ancient monuments and palaces. Jewel-beaked, copper-bodied birds sang from the branches of trees. Workaday iron automata harvested cotton. You would not know it. This is a garden of culture and art. I sat in the cafes with poets as they dueled each other with words and competed for patronage. Fun. Sought out engineers. Drinking heavily sweetened coffee. Sat with the shard engravers. No, I sat with... They took turns to scratch minute symbols on a piece of colored glass. Is that a device? That's an automaton's brain. But surely it is impossibly complex. Detailed, certainly, one woman replied. This is true skill. Only allow those with the steadiest hands to become engravers. That's really cool. It's fine work. Yeah, I want to play a game in this setting. Exactly. I want to see more from this developer now. If they also did Heaven's Vault, they seem to be really good at world building. This kind of, it reminds me of Spirit of the Century, but a little bit more, like, fanciful, even for something that was already quite fanciful. Jewelers, architects, shipwrights, cobblers, doctors, and dancers. I met someone who wanted to make a chef. We've had those here in Persia for many years now. You said you were the best engravers. I am pleased he knew. Fun. That's cool. Yeah, that sounds great. This is my abiding memory of Tehran. City that I am sure will stand forever. I really gotta start making money here soon. More luggage space, reasonably cheap. Sorry to be leaving Tehran, a place of true possibility. Let's read this for once. Balloonist kidnappers exposed at World's Fair. Wonder if it's possible that we could have been kidnapped by them if we went on the balloon. Focused on my task. You look strange for a servant. I am perfectly a la mode. I'm a strange sort of servant. Hey, a lamb's wool pashmina. Stroke the fabric. Fetch a good price in Agra if we don't find a use for it. Anti-automaton rebel hideouts. I like that it manages to thread the needle of, like, not pretending like there aren't political issues in this world while still kind of nailing the, like, Jules Verne, like, Age of Wonder and exploration feel, right? Like, those things don't necessarily have to be competing. You can imply that the dark stuff is simmering underneath the surface without just pretending like it's not there at all. Hold my scarf into my pocket. Let's put it around the neck. In a dashing style. The color suited my complexion very well. Very vibrant. Would you like it? I do not like to depart from my customary sober shades. Perhaps I should make a wager with you. I do not jest about my attire. Fun. Phileas Fogg attempts round-the-world adventure. Bit of unruly hair. Inspected our documents while turning a small lever behind his ear. A pair of smoke glass lenses slipped over the clear ones. We inspected our documents once more. That's cool. You are widely traveled. We are traveling around the world. I could nearly hear my master refrain from rolling his eyes. I'm role-playing the servant as a goof. No departures today. We should explore a little. Okay, I probably will in a second. Field glasses, the air traveler sets. Monkey wrench. Hand-woven carpets. So I have room for a wallet. I'm gonna go to Delhi. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Journey is tiring. Yeah, it looks pretty tiring. Mr. Smythe, second assistant political officer to the British mission here. Don't have the pleasure of your acquaintance. That's my master. You look like you might have been out for a mid-morning stroll and had wandered by merest happenstance into an Afghan palace fort. Urgency? Expand on the nature of this urgency. He had the measure of my cool-eyed master, that much was certain. See Smythe growing more astonished with each word. And were you Russian or Persian spies, you would have a more plausible story. Could not, in all honesty, disagree. My master's ongoing willingness to risk life, limb, and valet for a bet seemed to be the height of nonsense. A friend of mine is traveling to Omsk. Served a great favor if you accompanied her. Particular friend? She is very particular. Relations with fog have deteriorated. Wasn't the way I was planning to go. So I think I'm going to turn that one down, although I've been enjoying taking the mail airship. Let's continue down to Delhi. Or retiring. I afforded my master every service. Relations have improved slightly. Good, because they've been going sour from dealing with other people too much. Two suitcases, but we have three. The extra space here is quite a bit more expensive, but... Partial desert outfit will make things easier. Well, good. Quite a bit easier, it looks like. Oh, that's cool. Little bull automatons. Cash reserves are running low. Yeah, that's a problem. Money. We have enough for the moment. Last bank in Agra has closed. Yeah, I haven't visited the bank very much. Maybe I need to allow more time to pass to see what happens. It's crowded with vehicles. Panda, garish ill taste. Each one bearing an individual's mark. Relations with the fog have improved. Fun. Delhi free from gold prices. Played whist. Barely managed to win a single round. Little surprise given my master's monomania for the game. There's a place worth exploring. Opens at 9 a.m. Okay. Agra, unfortunately, is the only one that I know about. I don't know what happens if I get somewhere with no plan. I assume things happen after I've been there for a minute. Markets. Woodlouse. Geared to run under stones. I like how sometimes your purchases can guide, like, the direction that you want to go. Starting to repack and iron everything. Explore. I guess we can still do the bank. New routes. Work for the Raj anymore. Now kindly leave. Mistook me for English. An unforgivable mistake. Geography. Bah, give me astronomy any day. Astronomy any day. She's great. Across a group of children being guided by none other than British India's most famed inventor. What are you doing here? You're no longer an inventor? I'm a tour guide now, but you're brilliant. Don't you miss it? You stand in a city that has seen 100 kings, 1,000. Instruments were built by a once great empire, now destroyed. Master and I are going around the world as fast as we can. Is there anything you can do to assist us? You're doing what? Why? For science! It's hardly science. I'm sure there are hip flasks that have gone around the world before now. We aim to do it in 80 days. Ah. Does such a craft exist? There's one craft that was built but never put into service. It's small and light. It could take you as far as Hong Kong in 3 days. Absolutely. 10,000 pounds? I wonder if you can actually get here with 10,000 pounds and do that. That would be quite nice. A robbery? They would extend me credit if required. Guarded the bank as we entered. It was a palace of stone and shimmering marble floors. So I can get money, but I have to wait. I see. Return to the bank tomorrow to collect your funds. Okay. Seems like that's potentially a big time burn. I like that you can generally exchange resources for each other. Starch the collars of our shirts. Relations with fog have improved. Tapping the clock will skip time forward. Ready to proceed once more. Let's see, I was gonna go down to Madras. Pretty demanding. Requires 3 days. Maybe not. We'll go to Agra and see what we're gonna find. So I dicked around in Delhi for basically no reason. Maybe some of that will come up later. Perhaps it had never existed. Yeah, that would probably make the difference if you had enough money when you got there. Rumors of octopus-shaped craft seen at night. Saw 4 massive stone-clad jointed legs. The vast walking city, perched high atop its pillar-like mechanical legs, left me with only one question. We're going to climb up the towering edifice to enter Agra before it departed. Fun. Scarf can earn us well here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Nice. That was way better. Manila, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Urban Traveler set. I don't think the air sickness pills are actually going to make too much of a difference here. City Dwellers said, oh, I missed my opportunity to explore. Bummer. I think I might be in trouble on time. We'll see. Polished our shoes. Try to make up with fog here. Go to Calcutta. The walking city of Agra was a wonder. Commissioned a roving city. The Taj Mahal on top. That's really, really cool. A fitting monument to great love. One that my Frenchman's heart could not disapprove of. How can one claim to own a city which moves from place to place? It is as ridiculous a notion as planting a flag upon the moon. I would not chain such a marvel. That's cool. She's gonna walk to Calcutta. Okay. Via moving city. High temperatures. Perambulatory, yeah. Circumambulate means to walk around. That's high. She settled down into a regular rhythm after a few tottering steps. Developed a kind of sea legs. I am one of the city's 7 great navigators. Calcutta. Bombay. Bombay is the gateway to British India. Really want to try to head down towards like Singapore. Sound is more difficult to accustom myself to than Agra's multi-jointed gate. Looked over the edge. I felt like a giant. Moment passed quickly. And I'm curious if they came up with some crazy steampunk Spirit of the Century thing for like every possible city that you can visit. It's pretty fun. Could not wish for a superior valet. Marveling at the Taj Mahal. His hands were stained. Photograph? 10 pounds. Very yes. Invited him to join me in the picture. Very well. They go to the funniest lines is the one where I like show up running from the harem dressed in a veil, and it's like Fogg didn't say anything. I was grateful that he was English. See the barest hint of a smile on my master's lips. Nice. This game feels very sincere, which I appreciate. Like, are we finally exiting the age of irony in fiction? Everything has to be like constantly self-aware and telling you that it's only just joking, right? Saw a young lady in a bright pink sari and yellow lensed goggles pitch herself over the outer railings. Leapt across the deck. This is the thing that my character does, apparently. The woman waved up at me cheerily, suspended from the railing by a length of thick hemp rope knotted about her waist. I waved back. My expression could hardly have been described as nonchalant, even by the kindest critic. Daya. I cannot use your first name? I exclaimed in well-bred horror. She rolled her eyes. Well, that's the only name I have. I don't need up here. We're a city of many levels. She swept away into the crowd, leaving me to contemplate her challenge over my meal. Of course, I stayed. I went below decks. Can't resist a challenge. The upper deck was devoted to the Taj Mahal and surrounding pleasure gardens, which housed the tourists and wealthy pilgrims. Perhaps 1/10 of the population. There's no one about. She opened a pair of carved doors. Welcome to the lower city. Come to a township built within the echoing bowels of the city. Love that Futurama bit where they're like going to the fiesta deck and they pass the bowels of the ship. With shops and residences and even children playing games on the street. Right, because it's a walking city. Child threw a ring at my feet. It's old and engraved with measurements. A kneecap. You go through 5 or 6 every decade. Oh, like for the city. Okay. What do you think of my home, Frenchman? It is fantastic, a hidden world. All cities have a below decks, my friend. Agra's is more obvious. Yeah, I agree. This would be a really fun setting to do like a tabletop campaign in. I think this would be fun to even kind of mirror the, like, you know, the players are charged with trying to travel the world. I think what you'd want to do, though, is you'd want to find out where they want to go next at the end of the session so you had time to plan for the next session to come up with some cool thing. I'm not going to eat you. Brass-goggled men and women pulled big levers. Let's see Daya again. Some of our possessions could be sold here. Neck cushion, cracker biscuits, cowboy boots, part of the American wardrobe. Rest and recuperation. Do I want to sell the Urban Traveler set? I guess this stuff sells pretty well. Explore before I run out of time. That's cool. Industrial city built its wealth on opium, textiles, and indigo. Chai shops which I passed by were thronged with affluent babus. Don't know the word Behenji. Sticky subject of Indian independence. Seemed a natural outcome of events. And I said as much, to be allowed and shouted down by several pro-British voices. I think there will be trouble soon. Let's go to Singapore. 2 days. The partial Englishman's wardrobe should change their minds. Quite expensive, but... that's pretty cool. Minus 34. This promises to be a wearisome experience. SS Thunder. Captain Ong was a dashing fellow with merry eyes. The ship was crewed by Lascars, a mix of Indians, Singaporeans, Chinese, and Malay who spoke an entirely incomprehensible sailor's dialect, which I found utterly fascinating. Full speed. Kind of the captain's table. What an honor. Asked Fogg whether he was an opium trader, and I his factotum. I looked at my master, who merely said he was not. It's a profitable business. A man can make his fortune in opium. If, and he addressed the last of my master, he is not squeamish. Master's hardly squeamish. He's a gentleman. I feared the captain would be offended, but instead he merely shrugged. If your master has never known need, then his honor is untested. That's a good line. Nice. Woke thinking of... I only have one choice. This is true in my real life, too. When I wake up, I only have one choice. Croissants. Very nearly late to attend to my master's shave. I really try to keep his health up as much as possible here. Found them curious in return. My attempts to learn a few words of their cobbled-together tongue were met with howls of good-natured laughter. Asked me what Paris was like. It is brutal. It is much like any other place. It is glorious and terrible. Stopped at Singapore on the southernmost tip of the Malay Peninsula. Thank the captain. His He's happy to see the back of us. Fair. Heavy storm, San Francisco. I'd actually get there. No, I missed the bank. Oh well. I'd have to wait a while anyway. Walked along the harbor front. Let's try Brisbane. Criminals and colonists. Shudder to think. Manila. You a Spaniard? At least you perceive I'm not English. There's cholera in Manila. If you're not a Spaniard and have no business there, maybe you should avoid it. Thank you for the warning. Not wanting to insist on my lack of wealth to a man wearing rough clothes upon a body bent with labor. Fair. Arrives next Sunday. Arrives on Wednesday. Oops. Did I miss my chance? We don't want to get cholera. That seems bad. Next Sunday is... They mean... I have to wait very long? Pretty demanding. Oh my god. Explore some more, I guess. Must make haste. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have one for Hong Kong. I'm gonna lose a ton of time if I don't go. I don't know how bad the cholera problem is. Yeah, but I can't actually click on it. So I don't have a proposed route there. See? I have one for Batavia, but not for Hong Kong. Oh, you can negotiate again. Pay for the extra space. And maybe it could have gone if I had stayed on the boat earlier, if I had, like, directly clicked on Hong Kong. Surely Chinese goods are not rare there, I asked in Spanish. You keep one for yourself? What use would I have for such a flippery? I admire your practicality. That is a skill I've always possessed. Manila. Surely that would not be possible. You can pick up harmonicas in Brisbane, which will be helpful in New Orleans. We don't want to go back to Hong Kong. Hopefully I'll be able to get something else from here. Paid a lot to leave super early. Tagalog. Bobbed about a little. Will not be delayed. It is my shoes I mourn. You are an utter dandy. Do you really care so much for appearances? No, I suppose not. I have been taught to care by society, but I am indifferent. I feel well cared for. Good luck in Manila. They'll hardly know what to make of you. Alright, we're gonna get cholera and die now, aren't we? Harem silks. Nice. Nice. Cash money. American train timetable. English poetry. You have made some excellent sales. Oh, we go to Albuquerque. I'll try to do that if possible. New routes discovered. Yokohama. Let's go to Honolulu. The city had recently suffered the depredations of a major typhoon. Saint invoked against pestilence decorated almost every building and vehicle. Drank only boiled water, as recommended by Jon Snow's article in the Medical Times and Gazette. Went to the local telegraph office and sent a message to a dear friend, and just a friend. Sent a philosophical tract musing on love, death, and meaning in stuttering Morse code. I made my way back to Fog under the fragrant coconut oil lamps, eager to part from the city, riven by sickness and death. Tomorrow at 12 noon via airship. Minus 41 health, though. Golly. Okay, yeah. We go the rest of the way to Acapulco. Probably should take advantage of such a long trip. Yep. Gotta attend to him because this trip is gonna suck. I'll wait for the market to open because I think there is some air travel items that I can maybe pick up. I'm in roaring health, but we must make haste. Neck cushion. You sell the machete now. Let's go. Neck cushion from the frequent flyer set will help a little bit. They're turning us around. Going back to Germany. Gondola shaped to resemble one of the infamous Spanish galleons of previous centuries. And is richly outfitted. Nice. Tend to Fog as much as possible. A game of whist, capital. Almost at the Atlantic. Going around the world. Say this every time. Go to Panama if you can. There are some impressive new airships. Things like airships. Like airships? The Haitians have their own way of building things. You will see, perhaps. No ticket. I love that movie. Last Crusade is like the perfect sequel. It's as good as Temple of Doom is bad. Utterly fascinated with me. Or utterly fascinated me. Don't bother trying to learn it. You need a sailor's heart to do so. Do you know it? You should hope I have a sailor's heart. I think you do. She returned rakishly. I meet the most remarkable people as captain of an airship. Portrait of King Amadeo I hung in one of the relatively unused corridors of the gondola. I was exploring in the hope of finding a secret or two. Stumbled across a small room set with a crucifix and an altar. Someone aboard was literally a closet Christian. It was a giddy paradise. I became to ache that we would not be stopping there. Greetings, first mate. Acapulco. I'm not clear yet on why things are sometimes in yellow. Panama City. And that's all the time we have. Spent the day tethered at Honolulu Bay. So the crew deflated and refilled the airship's envelope. I made sure to eat a local meal. Poi. Which were surprisingly delicious. I wondered if the gourmands of Paris could ever be induced to sample such fare. I lingered to the last minute, collecting brightly colored shells along the beach. Took it back with me. I was struck by an unrelated thought. The dateline! Oh yeah, this comes up in the book. It was unthinkable he might miss such a detail. Imagine what might have transpired had we forgotten. I wonder if that... I would hope that's in every single playthrough of the game. A less precise man than Fogg might have finished on the 80th day and yet believed himself to have lost. Cute. This game is extremely cute. Like, I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's fun. It is immoral to fly a false flag. Yeah, the art direction's great too. Like, they're able to convey quite a lot with not terribly many art assets too. I'm surprised this one is so painful on his health, but I guess it's just because it's such a long journey. Possible to see what was happening. Is it pirates? I don't know. Climb the rigging and see what's ahead. Oh, this would have worked really well as a mobile game. Yeah. I feel like more games like this would be perfect on mobile and tablets. The rigging? Outside the airship? I will do it. So I volunteered. I am an acrobat. Handed me a telescope, a pair of aviator's goggles, and a red handkerchief. I shook Monsieur Fogg's hand. Closed my eyes and heaved myself up. Bracing against the wheeling sky, an impossible drop by nothing other than my trembling hands and feet clutching the rope. I looked up and planned my route. My acrobatic training gave me a certain dexterity as I climbed. Yes! I love that the little dig. Of course I knew about the International Dateline. Are you kidding? loosened a hand and gave them a rakish salute. I felt in that moment as if I were born to climb airships and laughed sky-mad as the rough hemp ropes dug painfully into my palms. Laughed and laughed and laughed. Aw, that's cool. So under the telescope. At the Bay of Acapulco, thronged with warships firing cannons at the city, lit with unholy fire as they listed and sank. I will tell you I made it back inside, made my report to captain and crew. The French army is besieging Acapulco, I said, and then I fainted. Our relations with fog have strengthened slightly. I wonder if I could ever say strongly. Leave the French to their business and head to Panama. It's fine. It's a detour, but not a catastrophic one. Bright red and blue automatons threw clods of dirt and stone into the air. Panama City. Some of our possessions could be sold here. We're not going to Albuquerque this playthrough. Easy peasy. "49ers," as they were called, had left empty spaces which were quickly filled by new immigrants. Being a multiracial, polyglot society, I admired the Panamanian spirit. I'm about to get waylaid by like 30 days. Like, something real bad's about to happen. Now the rumors said the Haitians ran the place. The blood-drinking machines they used to dig up the canal. Could not help but be curious, in particular about the mystical machines. Elephant-sized steam shovels painted bright red and blue. That's cool. Back to my master. So we gotta explore, but we want to do the market. It sounds like I can get some shit there. Telescope, scented candle, conch shell, antique map, iron ore. Not going in that direction, unfortunately. Left of the law set. Okay. Sour, earnest, and soldier types. New routes discovered. I want to go down to Lima. Seem keen to talk. Their machines drink blood. They run on ordinary fuel, I'm sure. Guard that fuel like gold. Where are you headed? Tabatinga in the Amazon. Visitor from France. You come to take back your canal? It will not be so easy. I must ask, do the shovels really run on blood? Is that what they say? Is it true? Blood is a terrible fuel. We'll be using it instead of coal or gasoline. We make organic fuel. Looking to journey onward. What kind of craft? A kind of bird, but it's injured at the moment. My master and I are going around the world. Perhaps we could travel with you? Time and manpower. They're both realized by one thing. Name your price. I will ask my master. Did have something I could get in Port-au-Prince. 8,000 pounds? Nani the fuck? Well, that's not happening. Maybe if I go to the bank, which opens on Monday. Night fell. I afforded my master every service. Maybe could have gotten another thing if I had explored instead. Oh well. Haitians to me. I am French. What about Panamanians? I'll see her with you. You turned away. Shit. Well, that's bad. Alright, I might have to go somewhere else. Tomorrow before 10 a.m. Yeah, I'm not going to get that money in time. Might have to go down here. Partial desert outfit will mostly help. Okay. Riding a steam shovel. Wonderful idea, or so I thought before we did it. This is going to be the detour that cost me. Offer would help I could. Distracted, a few strategically thrown rocks and rattlings. Don't return to Panama City for a decade or two. Fair. Help them. Oh, given the Panama hat. Nice. Which is the name of the villain in The Last Crusade. Well, not the main villain, but the one in the opening with River Phoenix. One of the young dynamite blasters managed to get his hands on some of the gin. Paralyzed by drink. I voted to keep him. Your heart is too soft. Stop in Bogota. Of enormous black snakes which eat men whole. The anaconda, yes. Casually, as if man-eating snakes were unremarkable to him. Do not go swimming in the Amazon River. Just sleep here and explore in the morning. Okay. That is a word I've never seen before. Opprobrium? Harsh criticism or censure. Okay. I waved at him weakly. Colombian woman tossed a peso at the statue and it caught the coin with an audible grinding of gears. It's mechanized. Not statues. Generally prefer them to be still. Still as a statue, even. How dull. Clearly you're a traveler. Are you staying in Bogota long? Not long. Raucous. Don't want to go. Well, that might work. Examine the statue more closely. There's a winding mechanism that powered the statue's mainspring. That's pretty cool. Okay, no unique dialogue there. Caracas or Belém and then come up through. Now let's do that. Wednesday. Price is rather steep, that's true. Banking probably isn't worth it, since we can depart immediately. The neck cushion should help. Whoa, that's pretty cool looking. It's one of the ones that we're talking about. A tram-sized mechanical bird with jet black metal feathers and a curved wooden beak painted a lurid yellow. He leaned forward as we took off. Remarkable. Money. You have been most cautious so far. I've tried. Find a route that gets us as close to Europe as possible. Try not to lean so far that you fall out of your seat. It'll be challenging to procure another valet. Decided it would be most prudent to hold my tongue. Bog valet, dapper, says the full report. There's that red-tailed hawk stock sound effect. Bog slept. Beneficial for his health. Let's attend to his health as much as possible here. Short Dutchman in the seat in front of us engaged me in conversation over dinner. I joined him in a constitutional. What's your trade? You insult me, sir. Slavery's illegal. Not in Brazil. This man seemed thoroughly unconcerned by the idea. Are you a traitor? Oof, we don't like this guy. He sensed my discomfort with his profession and left me to my thoughts. I felt sick and not from overindulgence at dinner. Completely fair. It was a slave port. Slavery has not been abolished in Brazil. We should not be going to Belém. This was the worst sophistry. He's constantly combing his hair. Turned away. New routes. And the one headed to Africa looks promising. Oops, shit, I dismissed that by accident. 60 miles upriver from the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, I don't think I dismissed it. Though the port was crowded. Shared a cup of coffee with an airship captain. He's tall and well-dressed. It's a peanut trader bound for Dakar. The Brazilians are fiends for peanuts. You were a slaver? The employer does not approve of the slave trade. Would be immoral. Yeah, let's not go to Porto Novo in a day. Dakar. Structure could be altered. Partial English wardrobe could change their minds. Starting to get low, so I'm going to do in 2 days because I've got some time to spare here. Saves me a little bit, well... yeah. Extra space. Neck cushion, saving the day again. Decided against traveling with a slaver. Could not countenance it. We French were the first to abolish the evil of slavery. It is evil when one enslaves another man, but is it not evil when one enslaves a nation? What do you mean? Senegal is a French colony. We Senegalese are ruled by French masters. Nice. Log spotted on fine form. She is my mother. A family business. It's pleasant to work with people you can trust. I thought him a lucky man. Nice. Greetings, Captain. Let's see. Mama, a kindly lady? Yes, the very kindest. And she is nothing like my dear Mama. Freetown. Playing cards. Tay. Who knows who controls Timbuktu? It changes every 5 minutes or so, it seems. Marrakesh. Journey is a tiring one. Spent my time tending to my master. Did you ever train to be a valet? What a thing to be asked. Redoubled my efforts, but to little avail. Bummer. How dare you? The best of luck. Nice. Sell the conch shell. Explore quickly. Hey, that's the direction we want to be going. Cool, and I already have a route up there. Saw all of this from the window of the guy's mom's Steam-Carriage. Thought prudent to accept. Was treated with utmost courtesy. Resemblance was striking. It's a very congenial abduction. Startling her into a throaty laugh. What are you doing in Senegal? How do you know my name? Are you here? My son picked you up. Are you a thief? Explorer? The traveler. put it to you that you are a French spy, perhaps even an assassin. I began to laugh. I am no assassin. Starting a revolution, and you will help me, spy or no. Very well. Oh, wow. Scored me on the arm with the serrated edge of her monocle. I have poisoned you. What? The antidote's with one of my associates in Timbuktu. This machinery in Timbuktu shall give you the antidote in return. You will die if you do not comply. Do not doubt my word. I am a human like yourself, pushed to desperation. Do not fail. I was kidnapped. How fortunate it was only a short abduction. We cannot afford more delay. Okay, so we gotta go to Timbuktu first, which is not super far out of the way, but also not on the way. Tomorrow before 1 p.m. and it's not that expensive. Okay. There's my parcel that I have to devote baggage space for, of course. Go to this train. Let's go. Timbuktu. Neck cushion will help. Hey, another cool flying machine. Gyrodyne. Told him the truth. We must go to Timbuktu then. Though what that was from compassion or the avoidance of the delay a death would cause, I don't know. She came to see us off herself. Scrupulously courteous. Especially considering she had poisoned me in her drawing room the previous day. A most formidable creature. Use of my personal gyrodyne. Don't get fancy, don't crash it, and don't tarry. It would not be healthy to delay. Just know how to use the tip jets for vertical takeoff. Quite so. You have a knack for these things. Relations with fogs have strengthened slightly, as ever. How are we doing on money? Feel the poison coursing through my veins. Thankfully, the gyrodyne did not follow suit as... To explore in the morning. Apples. Permanent tablets. Automata pulled water from the wells. Hurried to the home of Jean-Marie. I have a parcel from a friend in Freetown. The antidote first. The cow really did it, eh? She has balls of iron. She had me at a disadvantage. She's always 2 moves ahead. That's what makes her a formidable leader. She poured a vial of noxious blue fluid down my throat. Thank you for your service for the cause. It's ready to explore Timbuktu. Camel trains were tethered on the outskirts. Hoverboats, outlandish mechanical walkers. A feast for the eyes. I approached a trader. Master and I are looking for passage north. London. Head to Marrakesh. Oh, perfect. Funds have gone up by more than £1,000. Cool. That's where I wanted to go anyway, so that was a fairly mild delay compared to what I was worried it was going to be. The desert outfit should yield results. Hey! Leave right now. Yeah, fuck yeah. Heck yeah, desert outfit that I bought forever ago is paying off now. Otherwise, this would do 74 health damage to fog. Bone and pewter. Tawny gazelle hide stretched tightly over it. That's cool. Skull of the transport was the navigation room. Team of drivers sitting comfortably between our two wickedly curved iron horns. Spare Moroccan man in a jewel green djellaba. I guess that's a kind of cloak. I am Khalid, and she is Ghazal, a Persian prince gifted her to Madame Diallo. What does her name mean? Gazelle, of course, but it's kind of a poem. Just curious. Two Europeans seen stealing steam shovel in Panama. Whoops. Would be rude. An ankle-length robe in North Africa? Thanks, Six Gun. Henna-dyed lips and silver jewelry tinkling in her braided wrapped hair. You clearly love music. The closest equivalent in your tongue would be bard. Can you teach me? How many years do you have to learn? No doubt be a formidable traveling companion. Greetings, Khalid. Marrakesh. To Tangier. Lisbon. Like my employer, I do. Marrakesh. Playing cards. Apples. Why, yes. Aviary's full of jewel-eyed clockwork birds there. Goodbye. Have her out to Lisbon. Used to be a laborer here. It looks like hard work. 6 months excavating and cutting and stacking. It takes 3 weeks for them to travel to Timbuktu. It took us 2 days. So much salt. You think like a Frenchman. One barely has a sense of taste anymore. Papers are to be believed. English poetry. Nice. I see how, like, some of your dialogue is following from what you've said with other people earlier. Are you enjoying the food? Indeed. Ah, the fare is extortionate. You asked too much of me to tell me about London. Curious what they mean by extortionate, because if I can sell everything, then we might have a victory condition there. Knock unabashedly. Saw an unmistakable flash of sepulchral green light just before it shut. Most curious. Marrakesh. Tangier. I dislike conversing with the lower classes. Oh, fog. Displayed upon the table was a dismembered human form automaton, its metal torso peeled back to reveal glistening clockwork innards. Looked at its face. Hello, it said, in Madame Diallo's voice. Who are you? Who are you? Isoto, are you a friend of my mother? Yes, of course. Where is my mother? Talk about your prying later. Oh, jeez. Greetings, Khalid. Find your accent confusing. I've actually already explored almost all of these, unfortunately. Lisbon to London. Quickest way to London from here is to go via Tangier. Remarkable. London. I am very tired. I have to go. I should go. I am sorry. I cannot have children, so Khalid and I made her. I'm teaching her to be a bard. How long have you been teaching her? She's 10 years old. I engraved her shard myself. I really like that idea for the automatons. I invented a new language so that I could make her kind and wise. Those idiots at the Artificers Guild make an automaton serve tea or play the lyre, but they have no idea how to give their creations a soul. Oh yeah, the gondolier. I want to believe she is real, so I made her so. Take this as payment for your silence. The guild will pay handsomely for it. I would never tell. Okay, we sell that in Lisbon to maybe pay for the last leg of our journey. Don't let large automata into the city. Remember your promise. I shall. Desert outfit paying off once again. Been so little. All is well, I trust. Ample reserves for our current circumstances. Began a conversation she's not gonna like. You've been to Tangier before. Until I departed London for my wager, I had never left the comforting shores of England. What? I was perfectly content. Hey, it just says strengthened instead of slightly strengthened. Need our jungle gear set here. Shouldn't need it though. March for Lisbon tomorrow before 1 p.m. Okay. Hey, Jahan, how you doing? Tangier is not yet Europe, but it is no longer Morocco. Stayed in one place. Not wanting to become embroiled in any misadventures. It's probably correct here. Hey, driving goggles hype. We've seen a lot of unique vehicles here. Journey of almost 24 hours exactly. You happy to be back in Europe? Not entirely. Been traveling long? You could say that. Lisbon to London. You know any spies in Tangier? Maybe they were very good spies. I mean, fair. Goodness, but is that the time? I tried to sleep. Reached Lisbon as the light reflected off the Atlantic. So, how much does this one cost? Oh, that's nothing. Tomorrow at noon? Victory condition. Sells for more than enough. Well, I kind of don't want to sell it since I don't need to. New routes discovered. Guess these routes make sense if I went down this way at the start. Yeah, I think so. Arrives tomorrow, okay. Oh, I missed my chance to explore, that's okay. I have a great favor to ask. Yeah, 2 to your number. I regarded Fogg for his opinion. We were strange mirrors of each other. English gentleman and a dapper Prussian valet. Prussian valet introduces himself as Diedrich. Monsieur Fogg also likes the food. The most exacting master. Cannot be as exacting as precise as my master. Why, he's a fiend for detail. We gave each other a look the sort 2 generals might exchange. 2 poisonous snakes might exchange. Master and I are traveling around the world. Around the world? You mean to say you are... Yes, for a wager. No, I shook my head in horror. I stared at him in silent shock. Heading to Tangier tomorrow, and from there to South America and across the Pacific. West instead of east? We're also traveling around the world. We went the sensible way. What a remarkable coincidence. Let us give you some advice. Yes? Don't buy too much expecting to sell elsewhere. Yeah, I think this is a funny one. Awful echoing politeness. Pressed Dietrich's hands with a particular firmness. This is also kind of a fun little jab or nod to the source material. I love that line about the international date line. I hope that every single player gets that. Did not like that Diedrich. A thieving, unctuous look about him. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. You are a man of remarkable depths. Extra space. Expect this to be a problem. It's fine. It really made it seem like this thing was going to be really expensive, but I've paid way more. Barring storms, side winds, pirates, fires, explosions, escaped criminals, or any other such, London was finally within our reach. Safely within our 80-day window. Could not wait to stride into the Reform Club and claim our prize. Spent the remaining time watching every possible danger, embarking on the writing of this account. Tethered at the airship dock in Hyde Park, and felt for the first time in 63 days the feel of English soil underneath our shoes. Return. 20 cities, 80 days, completed trip. Seize my master by the collar. Ooh, 70 days. I could have maybe pulled off 60 if I had been a little bit more aggressive. To the Reform Club. Shooting a blade from our luggage and holding it to the driver's throat. Before ejecting the driver from his seat and taking the wheel myself. Yeah, we got the money. Have another 50 when we arrive. The streets of London seemed quaint and old-fashioned. Released him only when we reached the Great Saloon, where my master's erstwhile friends, my master's 5 antagonists, stood from their chairs, gaping in an attitude of great shock. Where had the crowd come from? We had succeeded. The master had won 20,000 pounds, which I feel like we spent more than that. With the 4,000 we began with, a debt built up from banks along the way, and our remaining funds, it was a profit of over 15,000. That's actually not too bad. Yeah, I only borrowed once from the bank. I wonder if that's a bad thing that could happen in the ending. Saw for the first time the crowds who had forced their way into the club. A journalist caught my eye. He must be the Loyal of L.A. I do not believe you've been introduced. All of London has been feverishly following Phileas Fogg's progress in the papers. Some good alliteration. Your master will be tomorrow's headline, or I'll eat my hat. It is a fine hat. Then I will be glad not to have to eat it. One of the butlers. Oh, it's keeping track of the stuff that I still had with me. Interesting. Yeah, this is the picture that we took. To go above the mantelpiece. Oh yeah, we took this picture on the walking Taj Mahal city. That was pretty rad. Looked quite fine there. You have won the bet. Seized my master by the hand and shook it as though we were two equal, and not merely a master and a servant. Pressed my hand warmly and did not remark even once on the impropriety of my gesture. You have been a worthy companion. What's next for the great adventurer Phileas Fogg? I've always wondered what's at the center of the earth. Nice. Very cute. Anyone care to make a wager? Hey, your journey around the world is complete. Journey completed in 63 days, despite the sheer size of the world and poisoned manservant. 22 out of 169 cities, 29,000 miles. Favorite transport airships, finishing balance 15K. 5,009 by sea, 7,165 by land, 17,000 by air, 17,000 per day. Courageous, flamboyant, remarkable valeting, relations with Fogg, comfortable. Oh, I guess when I go to shake his hand, maybe he'll be pissy if you didn't make a good relationship with him. That was a really, really cool game. I would call it delightful in every sense. Thank you, Leon, for putting this on your sub-block. It was a treat to play it. Promised 80. What a scam. What a delightful game. And perfect timing. Wow, it's like, oh yeah, man, that was really fun.